For years, Greenland looked like a joke. A frozen island, more ice than people, a place most maps quietly push to the corner. So when the United States talked about Greenland, people laughed. But powerful countries don't joke about geography. They plan around it. Because Greenland is not empty. It is positioned. It sits between North America and Europe, above the Atlantic, below the Arctic. If the world has a ceiling, Greenland controls the attic door. And that is why Washington keeps looking north. For decades, the US has already been there. Missile early warning systems, space tracking, Arctic surveillance. America doesn't visit Greenland. It depends on it. But dependence is not ownership. And in geopolitics, ambiguity is expensive. The Arctic is changing. Ice is melting. Shipping routes are opening. Distances between Asia, Europe, and America are shrinking. What used to be frozen wilderness is becoming a highway. And highways always attract traffic. Russia is already building bases, icebreakers, military infrastructure. Russia treats the Arctic like a front yard. China calls itself a near-Arctic state. It wants ports, minerals, data routes. China doesn't need Greenland, it just needs access. And Washington knows something simple. If you don't anchor the Arctic, someone else will. This is where Greenland becomes awkward. Because Greenland belongs to Denmark, at least on paper. Denmark handles defense and foreign policy. Greenland governs itself locally. But Denmark cannot defend the Arctic alone, and the US does not want to pay forever for a place it does not own. So if America wants certainty, it needs clarity, not influence, ownership. Here is the shortest path, and it does not involve invasion or conquest or buying land like real estate. First, Denmark exits. Greenland already has the legal right to independence. Denmark is compensated to end responsibility, not selling Greenland, but stepping out of the picture. This gives Denmark political cover, self-determination respected, NATO burden reduced. Once Denmark leaves, Greenland becomes fully sovereign. But only briefly, because small states don't survive in power vacuums. So next comes the window. A short independence period. Days, not years. No colonial optics, no annexation headlines, no UN drama. Just a choice. Then comes accession. Greenland votes to join the United States as a territory. Citizenship guarantees, federal funding, defense certainty. At that moment, the question ends. The US no longer protects Greenland. It is Greenland's defense. No more ambiguity. No more negotiation every decade. No more rivals testing the edges. Ownership. So what happens if America succeeds? First, the Arctic stops being contested. Airspace, sea lanes, and missile corridors fall under one command structure. Shipping rules follow US standards. Insurance follows US law. Contracts follow the dollar. Second, China is shut out. No ports, no data hubs, no research stations that quietly turn strategic. The Arctic door closes politely, but permanently. Third, Russia is boxed in. Still powerful, still nuclear, but confined to its coastline. The Arctic becomes expensive for Moscow to project power through. Fourth, NATO breathes easier. No gray zones, no unclear defense obligations, no debates at summits, just clarity. And the biggest change? The Arctic becomes administered, not debated. The same way oceans were once wild until someone wrote the rules. Greenland doesn't want to be powerful, but geography doesn't ask for permission, and in the end, the ice doesn't care who owns it, but the world does. Thank you for watching Pastcast, where the past echoes through today. If you enjoyed the satire, scrolls, and scandals, like, subscribe, and ring the bell before the next empire falls.